Media Project.
Excuse me, do you mind if I join you? Are you sure you don't mind? You're absolutely sure about me to step here?
And where is the Batman? He's at home, washing his tights.
Hello and welcome to the Mental Suppository. I'm Bret Herholtz,
I'm Jamie Billings.
I'm Andrew Shanley.
And I'm Wayne Nevis.
and we are here live at Northeast Comic-Con and Collectibles Expo.
And you are there.
And we've got a great episode planned for you.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
Oh, we do.
Right after a word from our sponsor.
Oh, man.
The Mental Suppository is brought to you by the Flatus Gas Company. In these difficult times with rising gas prices, Flatus offers a natural and affordable gas solution.
Hello, can I help?
Gas man here with your natural gas delivery.
Yo, do you need to come into the house?
Nah, you just point me in the direction of the gas tank.
Thank God, it's over that way.
Our qualified technicians are fed a steady diet of Boston baked beans, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, and Hormel chili, depending on your needs. And you get a complete refund if we accidentally strike oil while filling your gas tank.
I'm John Blaufer, President and CEO of the Flatus Gas Company. And I'm not just talking out of my ass or being long-winded when I say Flatus blows the competition away.
That's right. You've been sitting on a renewable source of gas all along. See why everyone is making such a big stink about Flatus natural gas. Make your switch today. You'll feel relieved you did. The Flatus Gas Company is a proud sponsor of Mental Suppository streaming service FRT Plus.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So here we are at Northeast Comic-Con and Collectibles, guys, once again.
Here we
Yeah.
are,
Once
yet again.
And
yes.
even though we're here on a Sunday, there's still quite a bit of activity.
There is a lot of stuff going on, a lot of spending going on.
A lot of spending, and a lot of spending to go on.
Yes.
And I heard you were here at the beginning of the weekend, and you were able to get a whole bunch of like photos and stuff.
Oh, yeah. This whole weekend's been really crazy. I actually really started on Friday when I was dressed as Austin Powers.
Oh,
Yep.
Bye.
Yes.
And I actually participated in the karaoke contest. And that was fun.
A little bit of Austin Powers karaoke.
Karaoke.
Okay, baby.
Okay, baby. And so, of course, I had to be introduced. I put in the cue because everybody could put up what their name was on the big screen.
Yeah.
And I put in Danger Powers. And so I go up there on stage dressed as Austin Powers. I'm like, it's really Austin. My Danger is my middle name.
Oh,
Beautiful.
nice.
And I went in to sing that classic Johnny Rivers song, Secret Agent Man.
Because why not?
Because why not? And I killed it. And as soon as I was done, I pulled off the wig and the glasses to reveal my nice shiny chrome dome. And then, oh, I'm sorry, it's Dr. Evil. Oh.
Like a transformer.
It was great. They were blown away.
Less than meets the eye.
It was. yeah.
That's good.
But it was good. We actually sang a couple more songs. I did "Eat It." Of course.
Really?
Yeah.
A great
And then
Weird Al Yankovic
I
song?
did The Heart of Rock and Roll by Huey Lewis.
And the news.
And the news.
Huey Lewis and the
Can't
news.
forget the news.
Well, that's the thing about Northeast. There's always something going on. There's like the karaoke. There's like the cosplayers. You have like the Harp Twins playing live. I mean,
We
there's
had
always something.
We walked right past Tara Reid.
Yes.
You guys didn't even
We
see
didn't
her.
even notice her.
I
A
sat
few
at
nights
the
ago,
bar with
Mike
Tara
Gerard and the
Reid.
Fools were playing.
The who?
The Fools?
Yeah, I
Oh,
saw
okay.
them last night.
Oh, really?
I was actually doing a photo shoot with Matches Malone and another cosplayer last night.
Is Matches here
the
today?
Fools is in
I
Life
don't know
Sucks,
if
Then You
Matches
Die,
can
the
make it
Fools?
That's
today.
the Fools.
They were here?
They
Yeah,
were
the
here.
Fools.
Oh, man, I missed that.
They were here last
I
time,
actually
right?
ended up finding one of their albums on vinyl at Savers,
Usually they're
and I couldn't pass up buying
usually
it.
they hit
wow.
the Saturday after shows.
Is when
Yeah.
they show up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were all talking about we got to come here next time just
Yeah.
to rent a room because we missed so much by
Oh,
doing these on
absolutely.
Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it just seems. I mean, for us, Sunday is the better time for us to get together.
Not only that,
I
they have
think,
lots of
what we
cosplay
should do.
contests.
Oh, absolutely.
you know.
What we should do for the next one, let's plan all out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
So
Totally.
I feel like this is like a really great time to be a comic book fan this year, especially if you're a Batman fan, because we've had the release of the
Batman.
Yeah, the Batman with Robert Pattinson. Then we're going to have like another the Flash, which is going to have both Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck as Batman in it. And then
Wait, what?
Yeah, the Flashpoint movie's coming out, and it's going to have both Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton.
Are they? So they're doing some type of like dimensional.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
multiverse.
Oh my gosh,
dude,
okay.
dude! Ever since No Way Home,
Yeah.
they're like milking that to death.
Multiverse stuff.
Multiverse
Okay.
stuff, yeah.
Well,
Oh,
actually,
yeah.
it was DC Comics that invented the whole idea of the multiverse.
Yep.
So
With
it's
the-
their fault.
With the issue of the Flash, what had happened was originally when they introduced the Barry Allen Flash, he supposedly got his name because he found an old comic of the 1940s Flash, and
Oh.
so he said, "Oh, I can call myself the Flash." So they kind of at that point kind of said, "Well, you can't really introduce the Golden Age Flash if he's a fictional character." So they ended up doing a story, The Flash of Two Worlds, where they did introduce the Jay Garrick Flash, who comes from Parallel Earth 2. And then, which is, when in the 1980s, that's why the DC had to clean house, is because the whole multiverse thing became so convoluted, so they kind of streamlined everything.
Yep.
And
Oh,
now,
like they didn't know that was going to
and
happen.
then the multiverse came back, so it's like you can't keep the multiverse down.
Speaking of the Flash, John Wesley Shipp is
Yep.
here.
Yes.
The original actor who played the Flash in the 1990 TV series.
That's right,
And the
everybody.
current one.
That's right,
And
everyone.
was able to
Dawson's
reprise.
father is
yeah.
here.
He was actually able to reprise that role in the new
Twice. Once as the Jay Garrick Flash, and then again as his original Barry Allen one, wearing the original costume.
Exactly.
The original costume. I didn't
This
see
is why I feel like
That's
Greg
cool.
Berlanti needs to take over the DC movies, because he, much like the MCU, he understands fans, and he understands how to do
Absolutely.
you watch Supergirl, you watch even Arrow, the Flash. He just understands like the I suppose fan service in a little bit of a way, where it's like you do things like on the Flash show, they made the Star Labs look like the old Hall of Justice from the Super
that's
Friends.
pretty cool.
And so even if you didn't really grow up with the Super Friends cartoon, you can still say
There's
how
homages.
people are fans
There's
who say
homages to all that.
exactly.
Right.
But
it's really well done.
also this year, speaking with Batman, this is the 30th anniversary of the movie Batman Returns, which
It
came out
is.
30 years ago.
Yep.
It is.
And I actually ended up watching it again for the first time in a long time. I still like it, but it's still a hard movie to follow. But still,
Yeah.
that was another thing where people were talking about Robert Pattinson recently, like, oh, I don't know about him as Batman, this, that, and the other thing. But I
Well, he's a
remember,
rail, for one thing.
well, I remember how people
Yeah.
reacted when
Everyone
Michael
said
Keaton
the same
took the
thing
role.
about Keaton. Exactly.
I mean, he was like,
No, but
well,
Keaton at least did have a
but in
bit
the
of
original-
body
he-
to him.
yeah, but in the original, when he was originally cast, it's like, oh, he's under 5'9". He can't
Well,
play Batman.
right.
Batman's, Batman's 6 foot tall. And then
Right.
the movie came out, it's like, he's the best Batman ever.
Well, you gotta
you
also
know.
understand that Michael Keaton was also more known for his comedy roles.
Yeah, that too.
than he was for action.
Which, if you think about it, they did sprinkle a little
They
bit of
did.
comedy in the movie, which did work for it.
Yeah,
It
it
did
did.
work for it.
But no, he just, and now, people consider him to be almost the definitive Batman. And
Right.
now he's returning to the role.
Along
And-
with Adam West. Adam
He-
West.
Honestly, Adam West will always be my favorite.
Yep.
The Batman,
Yep.
that will always be my favorite.
sometimes you just can't get rid of a bomb.
I remember, it's funny because I remember, I've told this story before, but I remember doing a book signing at That's Entertainment, and the 66 Batman was brought up, and there was this guy in the background, and he just like, oh, that was an abomination of Batman. It was such a,
Adam West's Batman was an
Yeah,
abomination?
No, he's talking about the Batman movie from
Oh, where they
66,
had
right?
all of the villains in one.
no. He was talking about the whole series.
Oh,
He's like, it's a,
yeah, I was
it's
about
a,
to say.
it's an abomination of Batman, and I just want to say, oh, shut up.
Really?
Get your pretentious
It's
head out of
actually
your
funny.
ass.
Robin, throw me the Bat Shark repellent spray.
It was just a great show because it was a product of its
campy.
time. Yeah,
It was definitely campy.
It was like bathed in the comic books. It was very much like watching a Roy Lichtenstein painting brought to life.
And
Well, another thing too is that you take a look at, like, for example, the James Bond movies over the years.
Yeah.
They've had to evolve with the character over the various generations. Like the 1960s Bond doesn't work in the 1970s.
right.
Same thing in the
Definitely
80s.
wouldn't. The 70s Bond wouldn't work these days.
No,
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely not. So I mean, like, yeah, these characters have grown, they've
Yeah.
evolved, they've become bigger than they were before, and they've evolved with the audience.
But I've heard the new Batman film is getting a lot of praise from people.
I
Absolutely.
actually went and saw it with my
You
son,
saw it,
You
yeah.
did it.
and I will admit I went in very skeptical. I went in with
Understandably so, yeah.
I went in with a this isn't necessary. We don't have to have another Batman movie.
Or at least another one that, do one that's a little bit slightly different than
Right.
the Christian
And
Bale
I
ones.
will admit, I was pleasantly surprised at
Yeah.
how well the movie was. I liked Colin Farrell's character as the Penguin.
That one surprised me
He
because it
surprised
didn't
me a lot
look
because
like
it
him.
took me a bit to realize that was him. It's like I knew he was
He
playing
looks
the
more like
character.
he looks more like a cross between De Niro and Joe Pesci.
Right, but as you said, he went into the doing this Penguin
Yes.
role, stating that he didn't want to do any of the typical
Typical
tropes that
penguins.
followed the Penguin, like
Right.
I think one of the things I also kind of like about this film, I've been kind of on the fence. I like that it looks very film noir, but the other thing was with the Christian Bale ones, they wanted to be like, they were like, Batman exists. This Batman exists in the real world, and we can't have characters like the Penguin or the Riddler in it because they're too campy or too silly. And the Matt Reeves one proves you can actually have those characters in the movie. You can actually, the Riddler works as a sort of
Oh yeah,
Serial killer type.
Paul Dano playing
Yes,
the
yeah.
Riddler was chilling.
He was
It's
very
just
good at it.
Just
Yeah.
the 2-minute segment that I saw of them doing talking about him, he was chilling as the Riddler.
Well, the thing I found
and Colin Farrell's Penguin, like you said, that surprised me because it's a
right.
doesn't even
and
look like
it's very-
Colin
It
Farrell.
doesn't.
Great.
No, they put a
It's
little
like
bit
a
of
Goodfellas.
prosthetics on his face to
It's
give
like
him
a
more of a
Goodfellas.
smoother look.
It's like a
But-
Goodfellas Penguin.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. He was very mobbed up. I mean,
Yeah.
Goodfellas
And
Penguin, I like that.
the thing that was amazing of the show, or I really liked about it, was that your typical characters weren't acting like your typical characters.
Yeah.
Like the Riddler, he left riddles with kind of like a bit of a joke to them,
Yeah.
or like a bit of a sarcastic sense, or something to that. This one was just straight out.
Well,
riddles,
that's what always kind of bothered me
which was
with
good
Christopher
because it
Nolan.
works for the character who's got serious mental problems
That's-
and probably a hell of
That's
a lot
what
of
bothered me with the
OCD.
Christopher Nolan saying, you couldn't have a character like the Riddler in these movies. And it's like, yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
And you can.
Really? He said that?
Well, he kind of inferenced that a lot of those characters can't be. He didn't want to use the Penguin. He didn't want to use the Riddler because he felt like they weren't, real world enough. And it's like, yeah, you can. And
Honestly, the way they made the Batman with the Penguin
Yeah.
proves you can do him in a real world.
absolutely. It just takes a little bit of imagination.
And it also takes a bit of understanding on the actor's part. Like for instance, the
Absolutely.
fact that Colin Farrell said, "I'm not doing your typical Penguin.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a mob boss," which is what the Penguin was, and he went.
Well,
with
in the
that.
comics, he kind of is like they have him as kind of a crime boss, who,
Right.
who owns like a. I think even in Batman the Animated Series, he ends up owning like the Iceberg
the
Lounge.
Iceberg Lounge.
Yeah,
Yep, that's his place.
But so I mean, from what I've seen of the commercials, like I said, I haven't seen the movie yet. I've liked the aesthetic of it. I like how this is. It's still very dark. But I like the whole crime noir feeling. It's
Can we
almost
talk
like
about that Batmobile though?
it reminds me very much of like the Neil Adams era Batman
Oh yeah.
Batmobile which was sort of based on a Corvette in the comics.
Yep.
So it reminds me a lot of that. But you're a car man, Andrew. So
Oh my God. Okay, so I had
What's
to
it
buy.
what's it based on?
I think it's there's a lot of rumors it's based off of a Camaro
Nope.
man,
Nope.
or some other or Dodge.
Unless it was breaking down every 20 minutes.
Well, I mean,
Wah.
it's very like Challenger-esque. It's very like
like a
you know,
Dodge.
like a
Yeah,
Dodge.
yeah,
like,
they
it's
did give that
definitely-
framework.
like
Look.
the
got the
back
Hellcat look.
end of it does have like a
It was based on the AMC Javelin.
Okay, so like I'll be honest with you, that car just blows, that car just blows me away every time. I had to actually go to Walmart and buy one of those things.
I saw them saw them
And-
on the shelves. They're really nice looking.
And I just had to buy one, and so I had to put my Indiana Jones in the driver's seat,
Of course.
and
Cool.
Slave Leia is sitting right next to him in the driver, and like riding along in the Batmobile. Why not?
Yeah, Wayne got the Lego version of the Batmobile, and he couldn't put it together.
I couldn't.
So
My wife had to put it together.
Heidi had to put it together for him.
Thanks
But
for-
to
thanks
my
for the lift,
defense,
Bandit.
I wasn't putting it together to
Good
begin
luck
with.
tapping that.
He was
hot-
excited.
Top in there.
I'm very excited.
Hot Sally Field tail.
It
Knock
was
it off.
One thing
I
I
don't
would
like
like
it
to
any more
point
than
out,
you do.
when you do go see this movie, there
Yeah.
are going to be a few scenes where Robert Pattinson is not in uniform, not in his Batman outfit. He's just in a no shirt at all. And you look at him,
And he looks like a
especially from
twig,
back
right?
shots,
Yeah.
and you're like, this guy's a twig. How can this guy be Batman? And he himself, in an interview later, actually said, had I known they were going to do these kind of shots, I would have worked out. I would have looked a little bulkier because
do you
looking at these
mean,
shots,
had
he's
I
a
known?
whale.
Yeah.
What do you
you're gonna be
mean?
Batman.
Had I known?
Hey, he chose
You're
not.
Batman.
He chose not to work out.
You know you're gonna have a shirt off scene.
He didn't work out for it.
Even if you spray paint the abs on you, you're gonna do something.
Well, actually, even the Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, George Clooney one, they had like the sculpted muscles, with the exception of like Batman Returns, which made it look more like body armor than muscles.
Oh, right. I see what you're saying, yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
Well, then there is the Batman Forever where they actually sculpted the nipples.
well, they did that in Batman and Robin
And
too.
the bat
so-
butt.
that was honestly
Don't forget the
unnecessary.
bat butt.
The bat butt. Yep.
I'll be honest with you, I'm
All
not
three
gonna,
of them had to show that.
Those-
If you notice, they're in this dress-up
Yep.
scene. All three of them had to show the butt.
Hello, Joel Schumacher.
I'll be honest with you, it's like I'm not a big fan of. I'm not a big fan of the two Schumacher films. They're not my cup of tea, but I understand. I know a lot of people who do enjoy those films.
They're entertaining.
They hold their place.
I mean,
again,
they're-
as like people who complain about the Adam West Batmans being
gosh.
too campy,
It's
the
an
people that
abomination.
complain
Shut
about
up.
the Joel Schumacher Batman being too campy, they have their place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Well,
true.
I think that was
In
kind of
the-
a
more for the
reaction.
kids.
Honestly,
Yeah.
that was a reaction
Yeah.
to Batman Returns, which had the Penguin stealing people's children, threatening to kill them in the second movie. So I think at that point, Warner Brothers kind of put up.
And Pee
Put up
Wee
the
Herman
brakes.
throwing his kid in a river.
Oh gosh, I forgot about that. That was Simone and
I mean-
Pee Wee as the
yeah,
Penguin's
Simone
parents.
and Pee Wee. Yep.
Tim
And
Burton. I think he didn't want to do the second one, but
No.
he just did it. And
They
he's
offered
like,
him something
okay,
he couldn't refuse.
Kind of a cash
Money.
grab. Yeah.
money.
I still liked the second one, but the first one will always be kind of
It's
one
it's,
I
without
really
a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely
Jack
darker.
Nicholson. Jack
Like,
Nicholson is
just the music and just the intro itself with the camera going through the
building
Bat
windows.
logo
Oh,
itself.
yeah, yep.
How you don't even know where it is. Like this looks like it's hallways, and then
could
it
be a
just backs
cave or
out, and then
something.
like, oh, we're inside the Batman logo. That was cool. But the music, the slow crescendo build
Yeah.
of that music, it
I
just
don't know
yeah.
if people can
It had
remember.
its-
That was a bit, that when that movie came out, everybody went, there was the whole Batmania thing. 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
This was actually
Yeah.
the very first dark Batman film,
Well,
It's sort of
it was
like-
sort of like one of the first dark superhero comic ones that we grew up with.
Well, a more
It
serious
really set
take
a
on
tone.
Batman than it was.
I think one of the reasons for that is because they showed people getting killed.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, it were a lot of henchmen getting killed, but in the original series, all you saw was people get beat up. You never saw anyone
Boff, biff,
actually
so-
die.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Bammo.
standards and practices as well.
Whap.
So, you
Yeah.
couldn't do that back then.
Thwop.
Thwap.
But no, I agree with
Holy
you
rights,
on the
brothers.
darker theme. In fact, if you look at the progression of Batman since Michael Keaton, everything has gotten darker
Yeah.
and dark. Which originally, that's what the Batman was. He is a
1988,
vigilante.
we got
he is
ourselves
not
a
a
gritty
well-liked
Batman
person.
movie.
It was about time.
Yeah.
It was about time.
It was
really
a great
set the
design,
tone.
too, to the bat suit. I mean, that first, the all black
Yeah, I like
Michael Keaton bat suit with
Yep.
that. Again,
Totally.
I think people don't remember what, how much of it, just how much of a stir that caused back in '89 when
even the Batmobile itself, I remember they had promotions
goodness,
where
yeah.
where they gave away the Batmobile. So
Yeah.
someone out there in America
Has a Batmobile.
has that
I was
Batmobile.
actually
I feel like-
watching a story about that. It was a guy that actually did when it was like in the middle of Columbus, Ohio, and like he had to pay a tax bill on that.
Really?
Yeah, the IRS went after him for taxes
Really?
And
Because
so,
he
like-
won a car.
because he won the car and the
Well,
car
that-
had a certain value to it.
Well, here's the
Oh
thing.
my
Here's the thing.
gosh.
That's valid. Any game show where they offer you a car and you win it, you have a choice. You can either pay the taxes and get the car, or you can say, no, I don't want this prize. I want the cash equivalent. And they'll do that because a lot of people don't have the ability to pay the taxes on a car flat out.
That's true.
And
True,
They don't
yeah.
want like payments. They want, and no, this is $6,000 taxes. We want it now.
That's crazy though.
It is crazy.
You get a new car.
But
you
I
can't
already got
afford.
one.
Pretty much.
But I've got one already.
But I've got a Dodge Neo.
Oh gosh.
It's a
But yeah, I just
Dio.
remember the first time I saw that version of the Batmobile, it's just like, what is that?
And then
And-
the Batwing.
Oh gosh, that
Oh
was
my God.
That Batwing was awesome. Do you remember?
It is.
Do you remember the Ertl
Yeah, the little
toy,
Earl
the
toys.
Ertl toy that we had to put together, the model?
Yep.
We all had that one.
Oh,
we must
gosh.
have.
Yep.
Yep. it was like about yay big, 12-inch. Not you?
Not
you
me.
didn't.
Nope.
You didn't build models growing up.
Oh, I did build models, but not Batman
you didn't
models.
do the Batwing?
No, I was
Oh, man,
Japanese
I thought everyone
robots,
had it.
man. That's what I
the
did.
Batmobile and I did the Batwing.
Well, this
Those
is about
are really-
like 89, so yeah.
Yeah.
You can actually Walmart was actually selling the old Batmobile, the '89 Batmobile, for a little while. It was pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah.
One thing I will say I do like about the new Batman is the vehicles actually are not the main contention of the story. Like,
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, for instance, the Batmobile, the Bat Bike, the Batwing. I mean, these are showcases of what Batman has for tools. In this case, Batman's character doesn't really utilize them. I mean, yes, he uses the car, but uses the car technically in one scene. He doesn't use it throughout the entire movie. He's really riding a motorcycle throughout the entire movie.
So not
cool.
not like in the Christopher Nolan Batmans where it's like,
the-
I'm driving around, boom, now it's destroyed. Well, hold on a second. Now I'm in a bike.
Yeah,
Boom.
exactly. No, it's two
Nothing
totally
like
I
that.
was
separate
never a
vehicles.
fan of the Tumbler. I never, it was like, of all the Batmobiles, I was just like, eh.
It
Yes,
was
but
a
the
tank.
Tumbler was
Yeah.
that was believable though.
It
I mean, I
was,
could
but I
totally
just-
see a military grade vehicle like
Right,
that
it's
existing.
right.
But I just thought it was just kind of, design-wise, it's just like, eh.
They designed it for building bridges.
Yes.
The bridge thing didn't really work out though. The jumping thing worked.
But no, guys, if you do get a chance, definitely go see the
I definitely
Batman.
will, yeah.
Or at least if you don't want to spend the money, wait for it to come out on cable or someone pirate it. But you are going to appreciate this movie.
Yeah.
You can
And, from
borrow
what I've
a
seen-
friend's
well,
copy online.
From what I've seen of the ads,
There
it
you
looks
go.
real. I've been impressed with what I've saw, and also I like a lot of the cast. I mean, the actor they are playing Commissioner Gordon, actually Lieutenant Gordon, I think he
Lieutenant,
is.
yes, he's not commissioner yet.
And Zoe Kravitz is Catwoman.
And I like the fact that they didn't make her a typical Catwoman.
Yeah.
That she's not a thief. She's someone looking for revenge. And other than the name,
I think that was Batman Year One. That was the original story. She was kind of she wasn't really a thief, but she was just again. I think it was she was out for revenge.
right, and she did a really good job at it. I was surprised at her acting as well. Actually, I gotta be honest, I was surprised if everyone's acting.
Oh, and John
in the movie.
Turturro is Carmine Falcone.
Yes,
John
and-
Turturro.
Yeah,
and
he's in it.
He is very laid back in
He's
this movie.
very
he's-
sneaky.
Everything with him. Well, see, he's the kind of guy that like he already knows all the angles.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to freak out when something goes different. He's like, "Oh, this just happened. That's no problem. I'll just go this way, and now there you go. I won again. Oh, that's just me. I'm John Turturro. Nothing touches me. I'm just brilliant."
Just man, he's just been.
He's such a good actor.
Yeah.
He is.
He's
He
been in so
is.
much. Just such a varied career. I mean, like stuff like the movie Secret Window or Quiz Show or Brother Where Art. Just he's done.
He's got a great range.
Brother, where art thou? That is a damn good movie.
Yeah.
So
he-
I think what got me when I first saw the trailer for the new Batman movie was when was he in front of like the Joker's gang or something like
I
that?
think, yeah.
And one of them just
No. I meant to tell you that. Those are not the Joker's gang. That's just a gang.
Okay,
They're
so,
wearing
okay,
makeup.
so it's just some gang,
a bunch of goons.
and the way that
Oh,
they look
okay.
at him and he's like, "Who are you?"
Who
and
are
he
you?
and
This
he
isn't
just
Halloween,
he
stupid.
gives him like 2 or 3 punches. The guy falls to the ground, and then Batman goes to the ground and punches him like 2 or 3, 4 times. Like, I vengeance. That scene got me. That was really cool. I mean, you don't really see Batman. You see Batman take out somebody
Yeah.
and then throw him away and just be like, "Cool, I'm
Who's
done.
next?"
I'm done." But you actually saw a raw anger and aggression in a Batman that we've
Well, I think
never
this was-
seen
I think
before
this
with
was supposed
that
like Batman,
one
like the
scene.
first couple
Which-
years of his career too.
Yeah.
This sort of takes place like
He's
maybe
supposed to be
year
like a
1 or year
rookie.
2.
So this is like a
Yes,
year
Yes,
one thing?
but it's
Okay.
a little bit past that because the police don't care for him. They know he's a vigilante.
Yeah.
They know he helps them, but they don't like him.
Right. Well,
And
that-
the only one who is on his side is Lieutenant Gordon.
That's actually been kind of a running thing. I think since like the 80s, they've kind of made that more with the Batman series. Is Gordon sort of his ally, but most of the other detectives and police officers, like in the animated series, Harvey Bullock was always against
Always
Batman.
against him,
Yeah,
Yep.
they always think he's a joke.
Well,
why
the
do
other
you,
thing
no,
too is like
why
you
do
they
you
take
don't
a
go
look
think
with
he's
that
a
costume?
joke.
Go with that costume clown, commish.
Yeah, not only
yeah,
that,
yeah.
but like
Because-
you take a look at like Joaquin Phoenix's version of Joker. I think
Oh.
that this is going to be like the Batman is going to be like one of those movies that's going to be kind of like really just kind of like by itself, probably one of the,
I think
the
they're gonna-
identifiers to
I
creating
think
a different
along with like
aesthetic.
their
Yeah.
in-universe things, I think their DC's also going to be doing a lot of like a lot of
yeah.
the standalones too, which I think is a good direction to go in because it gives people more variety. Whereas if they didn't like the whole Zack Snyder Justice League, it's like, okay, we've got this, this
Yeah.
version of Batman and this version of Joker.
I don't think
Lots
that
of
they
different
didn't
flavors.
like the Zack Snyder
31
Justice
flavors of
League. I
Batman.
think they just didn't like Ben Affleck. I mean, it
No,
really comes down to the
I don't
actor
know.
playing
Yeah.
the character.
I
Because
don't know. I don't think that was part of the issue.
it was part of an issue for me.
Yeah, well,
Oh.
for you, yes.
Yes,
but I mean, for a
Ben
lot
Affleck just doesn't convince.
for a lot of people, they didn't like Batman versus Superman because they didn't enjoy the direction of it.
Yeah, I think Zack Snyder had a lot more to do with that movie probably being the way it was.
And there's a lot of
'Cause, I
people
mean,
that
when
don't like
Also,
Zack Snyder.
yeah.
Batman v Superman was a slow movie.
I think that's the
So
problem
was
with a
the
lot.
Superman movie, the one with
Man of
Russell
Steel?
Crowe.
Why did
Man of Steel.
Yeah, Man of
My
Steel.
God, that was slow. I couldn't even keep up with it.
I think that's the other thing they said about the new the new Batman film is that even though it's 3 hours, the pacing is so
It's
good
really good. Yes,
where you don't feel like it's 3 hours.
my issue is that anytime I take my son to the movies, not even halfway through it, he's like, I got to go to the bathroom. And I'm like, well, then I'm going to miss 20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
This time he didn't say a word. We got through the entire 3 hours.
Oh, that's
Oh,
good.
wow.
It was amazing.
Impressive.
Most impressive.
I mean, I keep saying to him, dude, you have a cup for a reason.
Yeah.
He doesn't listen to me.
It's dark in here. No one's gonna hear anything.
Hey, it's the guy who peed in his Coke bottle.
Why is that Coke yellow?
Yeah, it's mellow.
Mountain
Dew. Which is probably how Mountain Dew is made.
Yeah, probably more nutritious too.
But yeah, I'm gonna have to take time off to go see that movie somehow
Yeah.
because it's
It's
a
3 hours.
3-hour
Yes.
movie. So I also have to consider I got my kids, so now
be
I
honest,
gotta
like
I wasn't
watching
completely-
I gotta
Justice
take out
League.
4 hours of my life.
But
be
here's also the
honest,
thing. You
I
don't
wasn't-
really feel it. It's like 3 hours. The movie
Yeah.
moves along pretty damn well.
The other thing I was kind of on the fence was the costuming. At first, I was like, I didn't know how I felt about the Robert Pattinson costume, but I realized
His-
for this iteration of it, it works.
I
His
kinda like
costume
that
does
leather
look
outfit
a
looked really
lot.
cool.
His outfit does look a lot more Kevlar molded styling compared to the others where it's clearly a plastic.
I forget if I
That's
read it
shaped to them.
I forget if I read it somewhere that it's like kind of based on one of the comic book series. They kind of like took bits here, bobs there, and just sort of put it together for the movie. But
Well,
I mean,
it's almost got a bit, just a bit of a homemade look to it, which is
Yeah.
what I like. It's not off an assembly line.
It should.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
my point, though. If you look at
Because he
Michael
was
Keaton's
still, if
Batman,
this is like a year one, he's still learning how to do this kind of stuff.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
He's learning how to sew.
Then he's gonna learn. See, that's
he
how
has
you
to learn to
become.
macrame,
That's how you
Yeah.
become
crochet.
Batman.
Speaking of which,
you
Andy
go and you
Serkis-
take your home ec classes.
Andy Serkis is Alfred. Now, there's an
Alfred.
interesting casting.
Oh,
Yes.
really?
British accent, no.
Good.
So for the first time, he's actually playing an actor that doesn't mean.
No, not
He's
for the
not-
first time. In case you ever watched 13 Going on 30, he was in that.
Oh.
Or Black Panther.
Oh, a Claw. He was Claw. That's right.
He got his arm ripped off.
Oh, that's right.
There have been
They never
times
show
where
it,
Andy
though.
Serkis is not a motion capture.
Yeah.
He's actually an actor.
He is
also,
in his own right.
What was it? Burke and Hare.
What?
Burke and Hare, a movie Andy Serkis did with Simon Pegg about the two people from the 1800s that would steal
The
bodies.
Grave Robbers.
Yes, they would steal bodies.
I did
and-
not know that was Andy Serkis.
Yes, that was Andy Serkis and
I knew
Simon
it was.
Pegg.
I knew it was Simon Pegg, but I honestly thought it was Nick Frost. I didn't expect it to be.
No, yeah.
I feel like ever since the Christopher Nolan ones, they've made Alfred a bit, since Michael came, they have made Alfred a bit grittier. And it kind of fits the character where he has had kind of a,
Well, he is British.
well, no, grittier.
No,
not
gritty.
Grittier.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
they made him like an SAS former
'Cause if you end up-
SAS.
Well,
operative.
they do mention in the movie that Alfred was the one who taught Bruce Wayne how to fight.
Right.
So the scenes where Bruce Wayne's beating the crap out of
Really?
somebody, that's actually military trained fighting that he got from Alfred.
Because they kind of
So when somebody gets knocked down,
That's Alfred.
you beat the piss out of them even more.
Exactly.
That's military training.
well,
Because you
even
want to
in
make
the-
sure he stays down.
Well, even
there's
in the
that.
series Gotham.
The whole point of shock and awe in a military campaign is you want your enemy to realize getting up is the worst idea you could
And that's
ever
exactly
do.
what Batman
And
did
that's
to
what
that guy.
Batman did. And he hit one guy multiple
But
times. The
he-
other guys he had to fight, of
That's-
course, but
Oh, I was just going to ask you because I didn't see that. The rest, because
yes,
in the
no, the other guys are like
they did come
jump
after
in.
him. Okay.
And another thing was great about it is that you see Batman get hit. You see him get like a I think it was a bottle across the back of the head, and he's like, you see that moment of oh that hurt.
I feel like they
But-
really established that, with Alfred in the series Gotham too, with Sean Pertwee's version of Alfred.
Yep.
He was, you can definitely tell he was probably N15 or something.
But I mean, it does bring another human element to the fact that he's not just some Terminator that can just beat up a bunch of people and walk away from it. Like he walks away, but maybe he'll walk with a little bit of a limp.
Isn't there also that scene like later on in the movie where he takes off his cowls and stuff, and you can see all bruises or is that no? That's like more of the later ones.
He does put black eyeliner on his eyes to cover up for the mask. But yes, when he takes the mask off. When he does take the mask off, his face is haggard. He is exhausted. Okay. He is showing scenes of like, I can't keep doing this, man.
Well, ever since ever since the Michael Keaton movies, they've been doing like the black liner around the eyes, when they're wearing the mask.
Except for that stupid scene in Batman Returns where he suddenly has no eyeliner when he rips the thing off. Yeah. Just because it looked convenient. Oh, I hate mistakes like that.
Kind of like Kurt Russell running into a building with no oxygen mask. Yeah, that's believable.
Yeah, it's Kurt Russell.
That's from my wife. Yes,
Kurt Russell
is a bad movie.
Oxygen mask.
I mean, everything he says ends with a laugh. You like my Kurt Russell impression?
That was good. I was gonna like that.
I mean, come on, guys. We're going overboard. All right, anyway.
With Goldie Hawn.
Good movie.
Did
not need a remake.
There's
like
not a lot.
Most of them.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, as far as superhero movies, there are still quite a few good ones coming out this year. I mean,
I'm actually really. I'm glad that they're doing a revisioning of these characters, but they really got to start looking at the more, not necessarily obscure characters, but the other people in the list. They can't just stick with the main ones.
They're doing what's Dwayne Johnson's doing Black Adam.
Which
is a Captain Marvel / Shazam villain.
Yep.
Which should be interesting because they're actually in that one they're exploring his connection with the Justice Society of America, which was like the precursor to the Justice League.
Yep.
And so it's like that's really kind of cool. Also, it's kind of connected with the Shazam movie because Black Adam was sort of the first one the Wizard gave powers to before Captain Marvel. And so, but he was like, I guess he was like a character from ancient Egypt. He gave him sort of the powers of Shazam to Black Adam. Black Adam ended up being corrupt, and so he ended up taking it away from him and banishing him.
Did not know this.
Well, the interesting concept of the movie.
Comic lore?
Comic lore.
Oh, I thought you said I'm a comic whore.
Well, that too.
Well, you actually are. A little bit,
the interesting thing about the Shazam movie is the fact that the guy who's supposed to give out the power is dying.
Yeah.
And he needs
that was
to
the original story.
Right. But he ends up giving it to the kid because the kid is the only one left because he knows he's going to die soon.
Yeah.
But he tested a bunch of other kids before that, and they were found wanting, and go back home.
He'd be like, get out of here. Yeah.
Get out of here. You're no good. Which is totally understandable about Mark Strange's character about wanting revenge on that. I thought that was a brilliant idea for the storyline. Somebody who's like, hey, I have no idea what's going on. You're telling me I'm no good at 5 years old? What the hell?
Who the fuck are you?
Yeah, exactly. Dude, I totally see Mark.
Speak about great actors. Mark Strong.
Mark Strong. Yep.
Yeah. Damn. Always chilling, always frightening, but then in a split second could be like that nice, like he was in Kingsman.
Yeah. Well, I was going to mention that. The Kingsman 2, I feel he had better lines and better emotion in the Kingsman 2, even though he's always static.
I still loved him in Kingsman 1 better.
No, I think he was great in Kingsman 1, but I really thought he was good in Kingsman 2.
They're also releasing, I think, at the end of the year, Batgirl, which is also going to have Michael Keaton in it as Batman.
Who's Batgirl?
I don't know who the actress is who's going to be playing Batgirl. You have to look it up. Ugh. But I think I'm kind of wondering if they're going to be doing like a Batman Beyond sort of thing, where it's an older Batman and he's sort of mentoring her.
They really need to do that.
Yeah, because I mean, fans have been waiting for that forever and a day.
They actually did that for the animated series of Nightwing, where Batman was really old. He was still doing it, but he was so old. He's like,
he had the gray hair, he had the cane and everything.
Yeah, he's like, I can't keep doing this anymore. I need someone younger.
In that episode, what had happened was, it's like he ends up having a heart attack. He almost has a heart attack, and so he almost
shoots somebody.
He
actually picks up one of the bad guys' guns and aims at it, but because he's Batman, he can't do it. He's the incorruptible individual, as Joker would say.
And it was like that night. In that night, he just decides, he's too old.
I'm done.
And that's when they end up bringing in the Terry McGinnis character, who ends up sort of becoming Batman in the future.
Right.
And it's I ended up watching that series from start to finish, and it's still a really great series.
And I like how Bruce Wayne's character is jaded.
Yes.
towards that
Yeah.
end. It's like, I've been working my ass off all these years, and it's not that he wants recognition or he wants like a medal or anything, but he just I've been working my ass off. I don't see change. I don't see my accomplishments doing anything.
Actually, one of my favorite episodes of that one was there was one where it was like, I guess the villain is trying to get it into everybody's heads, and so he's in Bruce Wayne's head, and he keeps on calling him Bruce, and Terry's like, how'd you know it wasn't you talking? He goes, because the voice kept on calling me Bruce. That's not who I call myself in my head. And he's like, what? Oh, but that's me now. And Terry's like, that's me now. And he's like, try telling that to my subconscious.
Oh.
I don't know if you all got a chance to see the movie, the Order, the old guard,
The old guard with
the old guard.
Charlize Theron.
There's similar themes in that. How Charlize Theron's character is so jaded because she's been rescuing people all this time, and she sees no
killed
results.
over and over and over again.
And she sees no results.
Right.
And then later, people are one of her new employees, I guess you'd call her, looks at the board where all of her events have happened over the years, and she's like, she doesn't realize it. She's been saving people all this time, and she can't see the forest from the trees. Is basically what it is.
Oh wow.
But yeah, that's what got me about the Batman, old Batman. He's like, I've been working my ass off all this time, and I don't see any change.
Yeah.
You also have Sam Raimi returning to the superhero world with the new Doctor Strange movie.
He will be directing the new one?
Yep, he'll be directing the new one.
He's doing multiverse?
Yes, he's doing the Multiverse of Madness.
Sam Raimi is good.
Yeah.
Sam Raimi is good. He's very underrated,
I
by the
still liked his two Spider-Man movies.
Yep.
I thought
He did 3 though.
No, he did 2. We don't talk of the third.
Oh, okay. Third one is
we don't talk about Topher. No. Lin-Manuel Miranda, all right,
There was just a lot, slammed into that movie at once, and
I think that's the problem with a lot of
And I think,
movies.
yes, I think that is the one big drawback of these movies. The very first movie, it's usually 1, maybe 2 villains. Second movie, 2, 2.5. The third on, 15 villains.
It's true if you look at it.
It's too much.
Let's see, like the '89 Batman. The main villain was the Joker.
Right?
The Batman
Next one,
Returns, Penguin,
Catwoman.
Catwoman, and maybe Christopher Walken.
And Christopher, 2.5.
Shaq.
2.5.
Max Shrek. And then you have Batman Forever,
Which is what?
the Riddler, Two-Face, and I think still 2 villains.
No,
Sugar
Mikey
and
just-
Spice.
Yeah, you have the
Sugar
you
and
have those
Spice
two
were there,
characters.
yeah.
The
And then-
sidekick sort of character.
And then you had
Batman and Robin, which it had Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze.
It had Poison
Ivy.
Ivy. It had Bane.
I'm
Hey,
still
Bane,
waiting for
that's
the movie
right.
where you have
unnecessary.
Batman.
Unnecessary.
I'm still waiting for the Batman movie where he goes up against Condiment Man.
Batman
Goes up
versus
against
Condor.
who?
Condiment King.
Condiment King.
Oh.
I think he said Condor Man.
Oh, another example. The Calendar Man. One of Batman's, or Egghead. Another
know
one
what?
of Batman's
Egghead.
villain.
Now that you mention it, the last Suicide Squad, bringing in a lot of these characters like the Polka Dot Man,
Yes.
and just like
That was
But not only that,
hilarious.
the main villain in it, Starro, the giant starfish, which was like one of the very first, villains the Justice League fought in the comics. And I always felt like, when they did the Justice League movie, they shouldn't have gone right for Darkseid or those characters. They should have made it something like Starro, or made it Brainiac, because that would have made
Brainiac.
more.
They still haven't brought Brainiac into
That
the
would have made more
big
sense.
film universe.
That's the problem. There's so many good villains. Why do they stick with the same 4 or 5?
So hear me out. I mean, with that movie, they ended up bringing in like Steppenwolf and Darkseid, and it's like it didn't really make much sense in the plot where they could have brought in Brainiac, and that could have brought in him like stealing Superman's body and bringing him back to life and turning him on the Justice League, and then you have the whole story where they kind of bring him back.
Yeah.
Rather than just like, even with the Snyder Cut where it's like, okay, well, we need Superman back. What are we going to do? Well, let's dig him up.
Let's jumpstart him with the mother box.
Exactly.
Everybody, put your powers
I mean,
together.
they could have
3,
still-
2,
I
1.
I was thinking
Here
more
he is,
of
he's back.
I was thinking more of Thor in not Civil War, the other one, Infinity War.
Yeah.
Where he's like, okay, I don't know if this is gonna work, and he taps his hammer on Stark's chest to give him like a jolt to get him to back up.
They could have still used the mother box. It's just, it could have been Brainiac. He could have had one of them.
The
Yeah.
what happens? The what box?
The mother box?
The mother
What?
box.
A Tesseract.
The what?
No, not Tesseract.
That
The
was
MacGuffin box?
basically, but that
What
was
box?
that was a creation for Jack Kirby in
Your
the
mom's
Fourth World
box.
comics. So
The bread box?
No,
I know.
if they do, I mean, we all know eventually a series is going to come out of this because they try to milk this as much as they can. But if they were smart, they would use the opportunity in the series to bring some of the more obscure villains.
Like I was saying with Suicide Squad.
It's like
James
Suicide
Gunn
Squad.
has a great way of doing that.
And I also liked in the Suicide Squad where they did bring in a bunch of people, but then they immediately killed them off.
killed them.
So it's like, okay,
Yeah.
we don't have to
I know,
pay
that was
attention. We just
great.
know
Very
they
Deadpool.
existed.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
like
I know
Deadpool 2.
when everyone in Deadpool 2 died.
Oh, is there like the power
Yeah.
lines?
It's very
the
similar.
power lines
yeah.
one.
It was very similar. I mean, James Gunn's, and I didn't find out till later that he was the one who directed the first Scooby-Doo movie. And then when you think about it later,
Wait.
it's like,
The first live action
yeah.
Scooby-Doo, he
Yeah,
did
with
that
that.
was James
Matthew
Gunn.
Lillard
yeah, that was
and
James.
Freddie
Really?
Prinze Jr.
Yep, that was that was
and,
James Gunn.
Rowan Atkinson.
And I'm looking
and
back at
Sarah
it,
Michelle Gellar.
Yes.
and I'm
Keep
looking
going.
back at it
I
now,
don't
and
know.
I'm just like, it's
Freddie
very
Prinze Jr.
It's
I already
very
did that.
James Gunn. You know, the style of humor in the movie. It's like, yeah, I could see James Gunn doing that.
Totally.
I'm gonna have to rewatch that again now
Yeah.
with those eyes,
Yeah,
because I actually remember enjoying that movie.
I did
with
too.
the Matthew Lillard version.
Yeah,
the first
yeah.
one.
I did
Yeah,
too.
the first one.
Yeah, the first one. Yeah.
I like the fact that they made Scrappy do the villain because that's what we all figure.
And if you get a chance,
That's very James
Find-
Gunn.
Yeah.
find the outtake scene of Linda Cardellini when she does when she takes off her Velma glasses and she's all sexy and stuff. There's like outtake scenes that they didn't use in it because
Okay,
it was like it
Actually,
was like, oh,
apparently,
she was a little too
apparently
sexy
there was a
in
whole
that.
yeah. Apparently there was a whole opening credits where they were going to do it in animation that they ended up cutting out for time, and I'm just like, and I ended up seeing the animation. It's like, oh, that's too bad. That would have been great to see the characters as their animated counterparts
Sure.
through the opening credits. But I suppose at the time it's like, well, the movie's got to be a certain amount of time to fit into a theater run. Blah blah blah.
Damn studio mandates.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. I think that's a cop out because
Oh yeah.
I think
definitely.
what it comes down to is two factors. One, the believability of the story of what you're creating, and two, the money you're putting into it. Give a good example. Children of the Corn. I was actually reading a article on the
Linda
behind
Hamilton?
the scenes
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
of Stephen King's Children of the Corn. Back
Yep.
when Linda Hamilton and
I'm sorry, there's been like 13 of them.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. That movie, if you watch it by itself, is pretty good. It's pretty good. But if you read the article about all the back stuff they wanted to do,
Of course.
and of course they couldn't because Stephen King was like, "No, I want more money." They had $500,000 they were going to put into this movie. All of it went to Stephen King. So that's why the movie we have today is what we have today.
He
But-
wants you to, Malachi.
There
He
was
wants
supposed.
you to.
There was,
He wants
that's a
you
great
to.
example. There was supposed to be a scene where
Yeah.
he says that, walks up to Malachi. Malachi's supposed to start stabbing him in the chest with the knife to realize he can't kill him. But instead, all he did was just grab him by the throat and just puts him
And
to his
just puts him
knees,
down, yeah.
and that's it.
Oh,
there
really?
was this entire scene where he was supposed to kill him and slowly drag him back into the corn, where the two of them would have then been dissolved by
Yeah.
he who
The corn
hides
people?
behind the rose.
Yeah.
He walks behind the rose. There was supposed to be this whole scene of what's her name, Linda Hamilton, doing this weird thing where just before they set fire to the corn, they had to cut all that out, which is him throwing a bottle.
Yeah, yeah,
It just it's like, I get it, dude. You make money off this. I understand, but when it comes to the integrity of the movie, you cannot skimp on the budget. You start skimping on the budget, it becomes horrid.
It's funny because watching a lot of movies that I really liked, that were like they end up re-releasing through the Criterion Collection, where they end up adding a lot of scenes. Like one of them was this movie called The Ruling Class, which starred Peter O'Toole in it, which was directed by Peter Mendak, and it was this movie about it was a satire about this English earl who starts out believing he's a lunatic who believes he's Jesus Christ. And
I gotta see that now.
Oh, it's fantastic. And,
Peter O'Toole thinking he's Jesus Christ?
and then later in the
I
movie,
can see it.
and
That's
then later
cool.
in the movie, when they think they've cured him, he ends up thinking he's Jack the Ripper. And it's just it
That's
goes,
a hell of a flip.
It goes from being it really is. That's what the fantastic thing about the movie is. It ends up feeling like two films because it's very lighthearted and you have all the sort of Jesus Christ jokes at the beginning, like one of his aunt asking, goes, why did you start thinking you were Christ? He goes, well, when I found I was praying to him, I found I was talking to myself. So.
I can see that. I could totally see
But
that.
what was great is they ended up, when Criterion ended up, releasing the movie on DVD, they ended up having all these different these added scenes. Like there was the one scene where the doctors are trying to cure him, like they, put him into a mental institution with a bunch of other crazy people, and they open the door, and it's like they're all like all the patients are all like sitting at his feet, like like
he's at Temple of the Sermon on the Mount.
Exactly. Just like all these great little scenes like that, and I mean, it's one of these movies. I mean, it's not very well known nowadays, but it's a great dark comedy. It's up there with like Harold and Maude. That sort of like that
Great
sort of
movie.
black,
Very underrated.
fantastic movie. Again, another movie they released through the Criterion Collection where they added other scenes like that movie and Withnail and I and a lot of these movies where there were like scenes that were left on the cutting room floor where they added like
right.
We got like about 10 more minutes left. Is there anything about the Northeast Comic Con we're looking forward to see in the next few hours before it closes
Yes,
up?
I want to say that I am looking forward to seeing the artwork of one Bret Herholtz.
Yes.
I heard that guy is amazing.
No, he's a hack.
Actually, hold on. There was a person that did come by here earlier. Time to do like bragging stuff on Bret here.
Yeah.
He looked at one of these pictures over here and was amazed that it wasn't like a reproduction off a lithograph because
we had to
he
tell the
said-
person a couple of
Yeah,
times.
I'm like,
no,
no,
he
Bret,
drew this
Bret
by
actually
hand.
drew this. He's like with like all the cross hatching and yes, Bret actually drew that.
and my
Yep.
pens and all that are lying
Yeah,
on
they
the
were all
table.
right there. Yeah.
and I show him like and he does with India ink and like and he's like, oh my, the guy was like super
Oh, yeah, he went
impressed
nuts
by
over
it.
the Indian ink. He did. Once he heard it was Indian, he's like, oh, really? Whoa, that's
Like, oh, you
exotic.
got India ink?
And you mentioned earlier, Wayne,
Pass it on, pass it on.
I like that.
you mentioned earlier, Wayne, you got to meet Vernon Wells. or-
Yes, I got to meet Vernon Wells. My God, this man is so nice. He's so sweet. And
of them are
yet
very
every
cool
character
people.
he plays, he's the worst
Is a
person
bad
ever.
guy
Oh,
with
yeah.
a mohawk.
It's like playing out
He's a bad
your
guy with a
fantasies,
heart
you
of
know.
gold.
Oh, totally. It was weird because he was doing. I got a selfie from him. I didn't know he was charging for the selfies. So like, as soon as I got the selfie, I'm walking out the door. He's like, you got to pay for this. And I'm like, holy crap, I'm so sorry. I'm running to an ATM, and as I'm trying to get to the ATM, everyone starts getting in my way. So I'm like, running, walk, a little bit run, walk, a little bit run, walk. Get out of my way! I
Could have
gotta pay
dodged
Vernon
Pokemon
Wells.
characters.
The guy's gonna beat me up if I don't
There's a
pay
Harley
him.
suppose
Quinn
it's
out
sort of
walking
like a-
around.
I suppose that's sort of like Peter Cushing, who played all these bastards in
Oh,
movies.
come on over here.
Get over
But
here.
in reality,
We
he was
have
the
a good
nicest guy
friend,
ever.
exactly.
Michael Madsen. Michael
Yep.
Madsen plays one of the worst people
Hey, how
ever.
you doing? It's Carly.
Hi, Carly.
Hi.
Carley Winn is here, ladies and gentlemen, and she is at Northeast Comic Con. We're actually in the last 10 minutes. Have you had a good time?
Yeah, it's been great today. Got to do the cosplay parade, did the contest. It was a lot of fun.
The
Looking
cos-
for Batman, though.
The cosplay parade's always fun.
Where is
He's running late.
the Batman? He's at home washing his tights.
I'll tell you, though, he's calling me on the phone at all times. Like, I was in line to see Poison Ivy from Batwoman.
Yes.
Yeah, and like, hold on, I'm getting a phone call. Who is it? Oh, it's Batman.
It's like, dude, we're in the middle of robbing this place. Where
You
are
have
you?
him on your phone as Batman.
Oh, yeah.
That's so cool.
That's kind of how it has to work.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're wrapping up this. You're wrapping up the convention. You're having a good time with the Hero Army. You guys are representing some charities.
This time we're Heroes for Hire. But yeah, we're having a good time, raising a lot of money for Leukemia Society. So.
And I should
it's
mention to
important
our
work.
I should listeners, Carly does make her own Harley Quinn costumes,
Very nice.
as well as
well
other.
done.
What were you dressed as yesterday when you came by the table, or?
Oh, I was an anime that probably a lot of people haven't heard of called Magia Record, part of Modica Magica. But,
No, it was a fantastic costume. You made it, right?
Yep, I made
Oh,
that.
fantastic!
Open.
Yeah, it looked great.
Selling some things that I've made too over at the room.
You were telling me about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm giving most of the proceeds over to the leukemia too.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
One of the things that I saw last time was that you did a Hanukkah Harley kind of cosplay, and I thought that was absolutely fantastic.
Hanukkah Harley.
Yeah, Harley, her backstory, she's originally Jewish, so I'm not really sure why they keep doing Christmas Harley versions. So there was an
That's a
official
good question.
Hanukkah
I love
version
it.
of Harley, but here we are.
And the fact that your hammer when you were Hanukkah Harley was a big dreidel, I just
You know, I should
Love
have
it.
come over here dressed as my fish today. I was
Yes,
doing Joker fish.
I heard about that. The fish head?
Which
Yeah, you
actually
wanna
is
run around and come
absolutely,
back?
which is one of my favorite Batman episodes as well. So.
They're funny and funny and oh so delish. They're joyful and jolly Joker fish.
Yummy, yum, yum. Eat it.
Well, thank you for stopping by.
Yes,
Carly,
thank
for
you.
stopping by. We'll have
You see,
to have you
I
on
have
the
other
show
people
again.
are obviously waiting for you, so we don't want to take up anyone else's time.
I'll get on out of here.
It's good
Awesome
seeing
here.
you. We'll see you around.
Harley is in quite demand, ladies and
Carley
gentlemen.
As
Winn.
always,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and as should be.
Oh my goodness. It's just a great
I am
crowd.
very impressed with the amount of people that are coming here in cosplay.
Yeah.
But the fact that you find out that a lot of their outfits are homemade. They're not going to a store and buying them. They're not renting them.
Right.
They are actually putting in the effort
And if you happen to see
put
your
in the
stuff
outfits
online,
themselves.
they are great
We-
outfits too.
I have to say something about this convention. It's very homemade. It's
Yeah.
a lot more affordable than a lot of conventions. To get here, it's like $25 to get in.
Yeah, free
You go-
parking.
The weekend passes are like $50. You go to another convention, it's like $50 just to get in the door
Just get in the
per
door.
day.
Well, you know what else is nice? That this is like my third time here, and already I'm meeting people that I've met a couple of times before, and we're saying
You're
hi. So
developing-
it's like we're starting to have like a nice group of people that we get
Yeah.
to see
Well,
each time we come here. So it's
Yeah.
kind of
The
cool.
thing about conventions is you almost become your own little community for 3 days. It's like a crazy central circus.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
feel like this convention's good for like, especially small families, like with kids like yours,
Oh,
Jamie.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Who,
Oh,
you know,
she would
it's like-
love the Ninja Turtles over there.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
thing. It's not so busy and.
Yeah, like Comic-Con.
Oh,
I mean,
there it is.
Hey! Matches is here
Oh,
now.
Matches is back. All right.
Hi, Matches.
Hi, Matches.
What's up, guys?
How you doing?
I'll be there in like a little bit. We gotta do this real quick.
go, take your time.
One matches. You're an awesome man.
Oh, you're taking me here?
Yes.
Why would these people leaving? We got the Riddler, we got Ivy, we got Happy Fish Harley. Is this not the best?
It is.
Oh, like,
That
you
is
guys
great.
remember the episode?
If our listeners
That's
could
our
see,
favorite
It's like-
episode.
if our listeners
historic,
could see
'cause
this,
nobody's ever
Harley
done
Winn's
this except
dressed
for Carly
like
Winn. This
the
is like
Jokerfish
phenomenal.
Harley
This
Quinn.
is like, I saw this,
Yes.
and it's like, she needs to tag Bruce Timm and Paul Dini in this because it'll go viral. Oh,
And she already did the song for us as well. She sang for
exactly,
us. So
right?
we got the whole thing. It's great.
Oh my god. It's like this thing is like hilarious. This
I-
thing is like the best thing ever. I mean,
Now, I do have a question for you. Are you using eyeliner for the eyes? Like covering your eyes in like a dark shade under the mask?
does it match the mask?
Yes, that's what I'm asking.
It's because I'm Batman. it's not eyeliner.
Matches
it's
Malone has
Batliner.
joined us, ladies and gentlemen.
Nice.
So, so
We also have Catwoman behind us too.
I know.
Yep, I see there's Catwoman as well.
And
We
this
have
is
a-
like 1966
We have a
Catwoman,
Riddler over here
which is what I
too.
really
It's
appreciate.
more like
I mean,
the
this is just such an amazing
Batman the
place
Animated
to
Series
come to.
Catwoman.
It is.
Right, but I always thought Batman the Animated Series Catwoman kind of took its cue from the 1966 Catwoman.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
She's purple and she's got a cape.
Oh, okay. Oh, I think she was thinking. Okay, I was thinking.
If-
Oh,
If
okay.
you guys remember what episode this was from?
Jokerfish, one of my
Yeah,
favorite
Jokerfish,
episodes.
right? And it's just like when he forces her to eat the
Yes.
Jokerfish, she's like, Mr. J.
Mr. J.
He sticks her right in her mouth. Oh,
And
You know-
Jokerfish is also naturally low in cholesterol.
exactly. Exactly. And don't forget, Colonel What's his name's got chicken.
And they don't even have a mustache.
Oh my God, that was just great, though. How's everybody doing today?
We're
Oh,
doing
fantastic.
good.
Great.
We're doing
Yeah.
fantastic.
Well, that's good. Everybody's smiling.
Yep.
Everybody's not wearing masks except for me.
See?
Oh yeah.
I just want to also say we also had an amazing.
You know
We
what?
also had an
Harley's a
amazing.
double mask. He's like a something fishy about her right now.
Ah,
This
the
is
bat
like
puns.
the best thing ever. This really is like, you know, when she showed me a picture of it, I've been begging for this. Oh,
The fish is trying to
it's like
eat him.
shark repellent bat spray.
Yes, someone else remembered it. I mentioned that earlier.
There are some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Some days you just can't get rid of a fish.
That too.
And it's like, it's Billy. It's like, Harley.
Holy haddock.
I also want to say,
Holy
Matches is such a great. He does a lot of charity work.
Lots
Lots
of charity
guys,
work.
They go a lot.
You always
to a lot
find
of-
him.
By saying that.
I'm sorry, but they go, they visit kids with cancer. They do an amazing work with March of Dimes and other
Always making
charities.
everybody smile.
They're
Yes.
making kids happy. They're doing it one kid at a time, and they really are heroes. They
Yes,
may be wearing,
absolutely.
they may be dressed up as comic book characters, but the attitude is just heroic. It's amazing.
They're heroes to these kids.
What is it?
You're heroes to these kids that you're coming dressed as Batman.
Oh, I can't hear in this.
Oh, sorry about that.
A hero to the kids at the hospital. It's Tuesday.
She says I need to go to the hospital? It must have been some fish that I ate.
Oh, don't worry, Bats. We have a
Alfred?
hospital for you.
No, actually, you know what? It's all a team effort, you know what I'm saying? You know, everybody does their part in making
Yeah.
things right in this planet. And if you could do it in cosplay or even the podcast and stuff like that, we reach out and we make smiles and stuff like that, and we spread a little bit of inspiration and stuff
Absolutely.
like that. So it's not just me, it's just a team effort with everything what we can do. So
Nice. Very
I mean,
humble.
You know,
Yeah.
Andrew got me some great photos last night.
I saw 'em. They
Unfortunately,
Yes,
are
did
tell
you
us
see-
about it.
Did you see the message that I sent you?
I didn't get a chance.
It's like, this thing cannot be accessed. And I'm like, damn, back computer! Alfred!
I'll dump them on
Well, you'll see the message when I send it to you and stuff like that. I'm like, oh my goodness, no. You know what I'm saying? It's really giving me a bad time. I mean, a bad time. So, what?
All right, well, guys, I think that's a pretty good spot to
I
wrap
know,
this
I
all
know.
up,
Yeah,
right?
I think that's a good spot.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you so
very
much for stopping
swinging
by.
by.
So,
It's good seeing you again.
Yeah, so you guys have any other questions? Anything that you need to talk about? Any?
No, I think we're good.
Oh,
well,
did
actually,
you wanna
yeah, you got
ask-
something?
ask- People are
Actually,
asking me about what I think about the Batman. Have you guys seen the Batman?
I
yet?
have seen it. I have seen
Have
it.
you seen the Batman?
I haven't had a chance to yet.
Not yet.
Okay, all I can say is if you haven't seen it, you must see it.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Okay, it's a beautiful film. I liked it. I thought Pattinson did a you know what? I thought Pattinson was gonna be good, but I didn't expect him to be phenomenal, and he was phenomenal.
Are you
Not-
going to be
there
adding
it
the
is.
Pat?
Yep.
Are you going to be adding the Pat suit to your collection?
I'm not sure because you see, I see a lot of people hopping on that bandwagon.
Okay, that's understandable.
And even though I've been doing this for like 29 years in
Yes.
May, okay, I like other people to have
Oh,
their
absolutely.
own thing, stuff like that. So I like this one because I can move with it.
Yes.
And when I go and talk to kids, I can say, "Hey, buddy, high five!" I
Yeah.
can actually move.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's good.
no
Whereas if
kidding.
you're in the
Same
Christian
way
Bale,
other armor suit.
whereas in the Christian Bale one, you need like a small army to help you.
Yeah, exactly.
Or the
I was
Keaton
talking about
suit,
that
you
the
can't
other
turn
night.
your
That had
head.
to be hoisted
Oh, gosh.
down.
Like the Suicide
Hoist it
Squad
up.
movie,
Yeah.
You can't bend over.
Exactly. Not that I want to bend over. That's Harley, you know what I'm saying? I swear. You know what? She is the embodiment of Harley Quinn, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She is just like, you know, and it's just like she's got a costume for like pretty much everything that Harley has
We
done.
were talking about that
Nice.
earlier.
And she is, you know, as
And she
much as
knows
I'm
the
passionate
history.
about Batman, okay, she's passionate about Harley. And then, you know, not just that, but okay, she did these drawings of the animated style, like in ink and stuff like
Yep,
that.
yep, yep.
Okay, I don't know if she told you, but they were phenomenal. I've been trying to get the originals out for her. So all she had was copies, and I said, "How many were there?" And she's like, 11. I bought them all because you know I love Bruce Timm's style.
Oh,
okay?
me too.
And she replicated that like flawlessly, beautifully. And it's like, here I am. I'm like, okay, I got like a bunch of production cells, bunch of limited edition cells.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, what can I take off to put these things up because they're so beautiful? They're really, really beautiful. And she's like, we were talking like a half an hour ago. She's got to do more of them. I said, well, let me commission you. You got to do Heart of, Silicon Soul.
That was
It's
a
just
great
that, you know,
episode.
I just really wish I had them. If you guys were here yesterday, I would have brought them by, and you guys would have been like, "Wow."
Yeah,
Yeah,
see,
you know what?
if we were
Beautiful
here
work.
yesterday.
Yeah, we've been talking about that.
So,
What about your socials? How do people get in touch and see more of your work online?
well, if you're going online, you can always flash the bat signal. Oh, man, that's outside. Sorry. No, really,
He gave
you
us the
can
signal.
get in touch with me through Matches Malone on Facebook. I'm really lazy on Instagram, but I'm real Matches Malone on Instagram. And if they need to get in touch with you guys, do you guys and stuff like that, or Carly Winn or anybody, it's just, hey, talk to that Matches Malone guy or Carly Winn.
How about you, Carly? What about your?
So Facebook, Carly Winn, cosplay. Otherwise, Instagram is Carly Winn. Twitter is Carly Winn. So DarleyWinn. Carly Winn.
Awesome.
Okay,
Thank
you guys are fantastic.
Spelling, it's just like matches, like a book of matches. You know, the good book of matches. You know, because you play with matches, you're gonna get burned. So,
Thank you guys for stopping by. It's such a surprise. And here comes. He's somewhere around here.
I sound like. Yeah, that was me, Tony.
See, you never know what's going to happen here at this convention.
You never know what's
really
going to happen
never
on
know.
this podcast.
Tony, please.
Oh, now Harley's going to get
This
Tony.
is one of the photographers that has taken like really epic pictures of me, right?
Okay.
And I don't know if he's being shy or not. Is he being shy?
Is he being shy?
He's coming.
He'll let him. He'll come when he gets.
Oh,
It's okay.
okay.
It's okay. You know what?
Well,
His
anyway,
work.
The thing with it is, Tony Lazaro has taken some of the
Oh.
most beautiful shots of me. Okay, and the photos that I get from these photographers, I usually print them out and I give them to the kids at the hospital.
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
Jacob, who recently passed away at the age of 6. Okay.
Oh,
Great kid, beautiful kid. I had like maybe 6 or 8 photos, and I said, "Well, which one's your favorite?" And he goes, "I don't know. They're tough to decide. They're all so good." I said, "Well, you know what? You can have them all." And he's like, "Really? Really?" He got all excited. So, and I said, "Well, which ones do you want me to sign?" He goes, "Well, you can sign this one, but not this one because I like this one." And then he's just like, "But sign this one right up here." And he's like, "Can you put the bat signal?" And I'm like, "I'm not really much of a drawer, Jacob, but I'll try." And he's like, "Well, what's that?" And I'm like, "That's supposed to be the bat signal." He goes, "Well, you're good at the bat, but not the bat signal." So he's just a great kid, and I miss him dearly. And but
like I
that-
said to these kids, you are Batman.
You are.
well, the thing with this is, here's the thing. I visited him once when he was sick,
Yeah.
and his parents called me, and they said, "Can you come?" I said, "Well, listen, I'm at work." And then I said, "I'm at work the next day." And they're like, "Well, can you come after work? Because he's really failing
Sure.
fast."
Oh,
And I'm like, "All right, well," and I lost my car. My car got totaled.
I heard about that. Yeah.
And I'm really, really sad about that. But so I hop on the train in the suit and everything. I don't care what people say. You know what I'm saying? It's comical.
Sure.
So, but the thing with it is so I get there and there's like 30 people. The family's there, and they're trying to pull me for pictures. I said, "Listen, no, I'm here for Jacob. Please, no pictures, because the parents asked me, please, no pictures."
Sure.
I mean, Jacob doesn't look like Jacob anymore.
Oh,
Yeah,
no doubt.
exactly.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I get there and he's in and out of consciousness. He sees me and he opens up his eyes and I can't hear anything, but he wishes Batman and he smiles. And okay, we get a great smile from him. And and I just tell him, "Listen, you did a great job. The battle is over. We won. You can rest now."
Oh, that is
Oh,
sweet.
wow.
Just what I'm saying. And I said, "Congratulations, and you're my hero."
That's very
And
Book of
and I'm-
Paul.
And I'm very, very proud of you. So just rest now, and just rest now.
Yeah.
So and then so after that, the nurse came over, gave him his liquid morphine or whatever it was, his IV. He was in hospice at home.
Yeah.
His parents wanted him to go at home. So I said, "Okay, I'm not here needed anymore because he's passing out."
Yeah.
So I quickly left and I get home. I get out of my costume, shower, and no sooner than I sit on the couch, his dad calls me up and he's like, "Jacob just went."
Oh,
Oh.
gosh.
So he lost this fight, but the thing of it is
But he
he's still
smiled.
a hero.
He smiled before
He
he
smiled,
you
exactly.
made him happy.
Well,
just
the thing
before.
of it is you know what, his parents, and it's like, and it's not just me, it's the doctors and nurses and
Sure,
the family
right.
showing support. Yes, you know what, he loved Batman, and yes, I'm very honored to do this. Okay, but people don't understand that it's very heartbreaking to see this because I go
Absolutely.
home and I'm in tears.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's just like sometimes I come across kids who will vomit and they'll like splatter all over me. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Excuse my language, sorry. I don't.
No,
I
don't worry,
don't,
don't worry about it.
Oh,
I don't
God.
give a guano about that. You know what I'm saying? But the thing with it is you know what? I said, you know what? Just believe in yourself. And it's like, I believe in you. And if they believe that I'm really Batman, well, I can convince them that I believe in them, and they can be the hero that they deserve to be.
Nice.
Right.
And that's what it's all about. You know
That
what I'm
is
saying?
that is so awesome.
You know what I'm saying? So.
He's a hero right here, guys. Ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely.
It's just a team effort. It's just a team effort, and it's just like, I mean, if even you guys having me here, helping spread the word that, you know what, we can all make a difference, okay? Yeah, I do it in a tights, you know what I'm saying, and bat liner, you know what I'm saying? But you know what? As long as I can make people smile and laugh, okay? People tell me all the time I should do Batman stand-up. I said, yeah, well, I get some Superman jokes.
That'd be perfect.
Actually,
Batman ragging on
this is my buddy
Superman.
right here, Adam.
Adam, come on over, Adam. Come on over.
And we're gonna do a photo today, right? Look at. If you guys remember Superman 2 in the diner scene where Superman gets beat up and then he comes back.
Oh gosh.
Well, he's gonna come back. We're gonna do a photo where he's like, "Sir, you're sitting in my favorite seat," and it's pan over and it's Batman.
That's awesome.
It's gonna be hilarious, right? So you picture Batman's gonna get the shit kicked out of him because he's sitting in Superman's favorite seat.
I'll just say I've been working out.
No pain, no gain.
No, you have to do it like this.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit of the push. No pain, no gain.
But the thing with it is, it's like it's a collaborative effort,
Yes.
stuff like that. He does an amazing Superman, by the way, and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah, he's like, you say that one more time, I'm dropping you off.
So has
Yeah,
has Batman gotten a chance to meet the Flash yet?
The alligator
Did you get a
jacket,
chance to meet
too.
the Flash yet?
I met John several times. A great guy.
Oh, yeah.
Extreme gentleman. Just a beautiful person all
Yeah.
around. You know what I'm saying? I love John Wesley Shipp. So he's really a great guy. So.
And Poison Ivy hasn't given you any, or Poison Mary hasn't given you any problems either.
What was it?
Poison Mary hasn't given you any problems either yet.
Oh, Poison Ivy?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? She just said she was gonna be here, and stupid me, my mind someplace else. I forgot my calamine lotion.
Oh gosh. Oh, you're in
You know what I'm
trouble.
saying? But see, this is the problem when you're Batman. Sometimes you have a bat memory. So it's like
Feeling a little batty.
so. Yeah.
This episode of the Matches Malone podcast brought to you by
Matches Malone.
Jump over the fish.
Jump Over the Fish.
Well, we don't want Batman to jump the shark just yet.
He's gonna jump.
He jumped the shark.
He jumped the shark.
You got a picture of that.
He jumped the trout, ladies and gentlemen.
You know what? Like I said, it's just a team effort.
Jump
and stuff
the
like
trout.
that.
Jumped the trout.
Just, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you know what? The world can be so many like negative things going on, but if you could just do a little bit of a positive, just to help somebody else, even if it's 5 seconds, you made somebody laugh. You know what I'm saying? That's a good thing. So, hey, Spidey!
He's gonna do the thing he does, but go and say hi to that kid. That kid needs to get a high five.
Look at this. This kid
Oh
comes
my gosh,
running
that is
over.
amazing. Look at that. He's
Best
getting a
crossover
picture.
ever.
He
That's
just
cool.
covered him in webs.
Come on over. Stand by your matches.
Amazing!
Oh my
Best
god.
crossover ever, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and
And
gentlemen,
this is what you get when you come to the comic convention.
Exactly.
that's Batman.
Everyone's
Yes, it
smiling
is.
and
Come
everyone's
over.
happy.
It's
Come
so funny.
over.
He's holding his hand like Tobey
He's the
Maguire to shoot the
amazing
webs.
Spider-Man.
And when I first saw it, I thought he was giving him the finger. I thought, that's Batman?
You look
Yeah,
fabulous.
Batman.
So dark. This must be the DC.
You know, I just remember that old Spider-Man's that old Spider-Man yeah,
I met him at Super Mega Fest.
there's a story, there's a
signing for a
Spider-Man
friend 'cause
story
he's a
where
Spider-Man fan.
Spider-Man visits a kid. He goes through the hospital. You know, he's like talking to the kid. He shows him his face, and then he leaves. And then you see at the end of the thing, you know, terminal kids. Hospital. Yes,
Yes,
we
yeah,
are.
we're-
Thank you,
thank
Matt.
you.
Good
to go,
Thank
man.
you for
Thank you.
coming.
So much, Max. I'll talk to you later.
All
It's
right.
great meeting you.
Oh, good to see you again.
All right,
It's good seeing you
be
too.
real, be safe. All
Nice
right,
to meet you,
Thank you
Soups.
so much. All right,
No,
it's an honor to
thank
be on
you.
the show.
Yeah.
It's like, you
Oh,
know
honored
what?
to have you.
All right, always a pleasure.
Always
an
good
honor.
to see you too, sir.
Thank you guys.
Now that is
Unbelievable.
Awesome.
That
Oh,
was-
and,
off-
and,
he's off
and
to
didn't
save
I
some more
just say
kids.
the coolest thing about this convention is you get to meet friends and people
feel
that
like
you don't see
Out
for a
of all the
while, and
conventions,
then
this is the most cosplay friendly, not to mention family friendly and affordable. So, like I was saying earlier,
Yeah.
you could bring your daughter to this, and you don't feel so overwhelmed that you might at a fan expo.
Well,
Well,
I
it's
mean,
not only
you
that,
don't
you're
feel.
not only going to see like inappropriate cosplay either, because you're seeing a lot of like family-friendly cosplay.
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yes, I've seen a couple of skin tight outfits, but even the skin tight outfits are not like I have to like my daughter walking by cover her eyes or anything like that. I would never feel like
Well,
that was necessary.
It's funny because I was talking with somebody earlier and they were mentioning I don't think they did like the stand up this year, and she said it was kind of a good thing because I guess a lot of the comedians get a little bit raunchy, R-rated, and there's still kids at the events, so it's like, which I probably should mention also if people might want to check out Greg McGuggett at performing at Bickford's this week.
Sex. How about a comic convention
Where you can have
with
sex.
things?
So we will come back to Northeast Comic Con for the next show.
Yes.
We
Yep.
will try this time to.
I think we'll do it on a better day, like on a
Yes,
Saturday.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, because I
We'll have
mean,
a little bit more interaction with people. Yeah.
exactly.
Absolutely.
So on behalf of Jamie, Andrew, and Wayne, thank you for listening to the Mental Suppository. Until next time, this is Bret Herholtz saying,
I knew I'd disturb you.
The Mental Suppository has been produced by Bret Herholtz and Jamie Billings and distributed by M the Media Project. Theme music generously donated by Mr. B, the Gentleman Rhymer. Visit his webpage at gentlemanrhymer.com. We would love to hear from our fans. Email us at mentalsuppository@gmail.com.
You're all gonna die soon.
That's it.